baby Bitis cornuta cam. Look at that. Isn't that a cutie? And there's Mom. Mom popped out 12 live yesterday, and 2 stillborn, and 2 unfertilized embryos. Here's another baby. I've got the vast majority of them removed from the cage, but left them a couple because they looked quite upset with me when I took them all out, but they're in these bins. Say hi. Maybe if we go in slowly. Yeah, that was better. Let's say hi to baby Bitis cornuta, many-horned adder. Well, you've got features of both your mom and dad, that's for certain. I'm gonna try feeding these guys a little later. Of course, everybody is hiding. Oh, look at you, you're a chubby one. They're all pretty calm. I don't hear any huffing and puffing from in there. Oh, that's a chubby one too. And that's definitely Bee's a girl. She got some booty on her. There's another one. And over here we have another one. Say hello. Oh, that's classic horned adder stuff. Are you pissy? Huh? Are you pissy? You're too young to be pissy. I bet you're a male. I bet you're a male. He's a little pissy. How are you? And you're not at all interested in what's going on, huh? Okay. Now that they're born, the easy part's done. It's getting them to feed. They normally would probably start off on little lizards, but little lizards are a little short supply. Oh, that was a good strike. Okay, we'll leave that alone and see if he does that all by himself, because that's the way we start here. Let's put this under here and move on to the next one and see if we can entice these babies to eat. Well, it's certainly not difficult stirring them up. Well, that's good. This is a good start. How about I hold the camera on the baby? These things are notoriously very, very difficult to get feeding. Once you do, they take off like little rockets, becoming a very, big tubbalard like their mother. Remember, feeding snakes is a lot like bass fishing. It's all in the presentation. Well, there's some very nice tongue flicking going on there. Now those are good tongue flicks from when I say. They're like, hey, what's this? You know, and these are frozen thawed and not quite so fresh, although you might not take too kindly to a fresh one sort of squeaking and squirming. Let's just give him some privacy and see what happens. And believe me, that's happened in the past. Oh, well, that's an interesting tongue flick. Okay, I'm going to be pissy. Oh, that was a good bite. Okay, bud. They're so funny with their little huffies and puffies. Okay, let's just leave him alone. This little guy seems very interested. These are certainly easier than Bitis cornuta, which are like half this size. About the same length, but they're like worms. Okay, I'm just gonna let this guy go and do his thing in privacy. Excuse me, Miss Cordalis, is that a mouse dancing on your tail? Once they get defensive like that, it's really hopeless. Now they should have no trouble at all downing these pinks. The pinks are fairly compressive. Oh yeah, oh, that was a good one. That's pretty much a damn good start. Well, he's being a little offensive. Do we have a winner? Oh my goodness, this would be excellent. These guys are so tough to get to feed. Just 1 out of the 12. Please. Eat, eat, manja, manja, my grandmother would say. Oh, and it looks like here she is. Oh. Oh, thank you, thank you. Oh boy, and you're a smart one. You worked right up to the head. Oh, you are just awesome, you little beastie, you. Woohoo! Gotta feed her. What was it? It was last year. I think in May, I spent about $2,500 on 5 of these little pups. They came from a dealer in Florida. The problem is these are sort of arid land snakes. And they were down in Florida for too long after they came in from wherever they came in from. So they all got respiratory infections. And I couldn't save one of them. So that was not only a personal tragedy as far as I was concerned, because, you know, someone's babies didn't make it, and the whole idea of being a biological unit is to reproduce your genes, and not to have some poor cornuta and cordalis to lose all their offspring like that, when at least probably one would have survived in the wild, is a real tragedy. They all died from a respiratory infection. I had some that were eating. That wasn't the problem. They're very susceptible to respiratory infections from high humidity, and that's why some of my friends in the southern states probably are going to be disappointed, but I won't let them have one, because simply it probably won't last, because it'll get a respiratory infection and then die. Now, cornutas, I seem to have a lot more, They seem to be a lot more keyed in on mammals as a food source than Quadalis. Bitis cornuta almost seem to be pretty much exclusive lizard feeders in the wild. You know, subsequently, they're a little tough to get feeding and when they're around, because even if you're lucky enough to have lizards of the appropriate size, it's just really, really tough to get them going. So this little guy chowed down. I don't know if anybody else did, but this guy's certainly well on the way to being a successful little creature. Wow, that's awesome. You don't know how happy I am. It's, no small feat to get these animals to breed in captivity. And then to successfully reproduce. I mean, for her first litter, 12 live, 2 stillborn, and 2 embryos that were not developed. That's outstanding. She was as big as the Goodyear blimp, but that's a different issue. And I'm pretty certain, had I been around when those 2 stillborns were popped out, they may have been salvageable, and I may have been able to resuscitate them like I did the others. But what's done is done. And speaking of done, this little pup chowed down. So let me let that settled for the night, and let me push him back in the rack where it's nice and warm and dark, and he can sit down and enjoy his first meal. And I'll probably try to feed these guys every 4 days or so, because remember, pinkies are 87% water, so you need to have them stuffed down, a lot of them, to get them going. So let's let this guy enjoy his first meal.